would say we're not making people over, we're making them better.
Right.
Yeah, we don't like to change anyone and tell them they have to be different. We like to just take what's already there and help it become their best version of themselves.
Yeah, there was a specific moment. Especially Jonathan and I would have conversations before the show came out. And Tan and I did as well, where we were just thinking like, oh, this is going to be an homage show, just like a little nod to the original. And I really thought that I was going to be sort of, I'm definitely the quieter one of the bunch. I'm more comfortable when I sort of have like one-on-ones with our hero, the people who we help. And I sort of thought I'd be kind of like forgotten. And I think that was just kind of like a security blanket of not putting too much pressure on myself and getting too excited because I didn't know what the end result was going to be or how it was going to be perceived. But we were driving, it was our first week of press for season 1, and we were in New York. And Netflix is very secretive, not only about when they release things, but also about press and that kind of stuff in general. And we were driving down, and suddenly I got a text message from someone. No, Bobby got a text message because he's very connected and has Google alerts for everybody. We make fun of him, but we also are happy that he does it because he kind of gets to be our messenger. And someone mentioned that there were billboards of us out in Chelsea. And we got out of the car and we saw these like billboards of us on bus stations, which was a first for all of us. And we were incredibly emotional because we didn't see it coming. And that's when it sort of became real. And it was like, it sort of dawned on me that it was like, oh, this thing is a lot bigger than we are. And I hadn't even seen the episodes yet. And then that same day, as if that wasn't enough, we found out that there was a massive ad on Times Square, which I had a proper weird snot cry when I saw it because it was just kind of, it was never a dream of mine to see myself up there, but it was the first time that I sort of had this switch in my brain where I was thinking like, oh, like people are going to be watching this.
Maybe an armfold or something?
Yeah. Me or him?
You.
Me? Okay. What about this?
Perfect. Very good.
Well, the show you're talking about, Indian Summers, I wasn't really aware of it at the time because we filmed away from the UK. We filmed in Malaysia. And then after the first series aired, pretty much before we had any time to absorb the impact of it airing, we were back to Malaysia to film the second series. But one thing that struck me as really odd was being recognised, I think at like Hong Kong airport en route to Malaysia, by a group of Australian tourists just going, excuse me, are you in Indian Summers? And that was mad because I'd somehow managed to bypass it being someone from my own country in a way, and just the idea that someone on literally the other side of the world from me had seen the show on TV was kind of baffling and awe-inspiring.
Stand up top here. Where's Lucy? Up here, please. Bruce.
Guys, can you come down, please? Bruce, Lucy, come on down. Lucy, Bruce, come on down. Lucy, Bruce, can you come?
The moment that things tipped over into a curious lean-in impulse was when Michael Musto of the Village Voice started hailing her as a new gay icon, feminist icon. And back then, feminist was still kind of a dirty word. Like, my generation was like, I'm not a feminist because that's from the 60s. We didn't realize we were standing on the shoulders of these incredible women who had really done an awful lot of work to give us the freedom that we so took for granted. Especially in New Zealand, where we already had female prime minister and women got the vote before Australia even, and long before America or Britain. So we just thought of ourselves as being equal. I had 5 brothers and never felt inferior to them, let me tell you.